After reading these two chapters, I'd like to say that the information that was in these two chapters were interesting. I mean, I've been saying that almost every week, but it's true, they are. Something that kind of like struck, I guess, like a nerve, not really a nerve, but like living alone, is where the doctor returned home from an emergency room shift, and he realized that his door was like the gate to his house was unlocked. And so he started walking towards the front door, and he realized that his door was opened a little too easy. So then he like crept into the foyer, and only a couple steps into the door, he noticed that all the lights were on, which was strange because his wife was supposed to be at work that evening, and he was supposed to arrive home first. So then he panicked a little bit. He then called 911 and had the police come over. And while he was waiting for the police to come over, he realized his wife had got home. He got into his wife's car, and then the police showed up. He then walked slowly to the police officer's car with his hands visible, just to make sure that it wasn't just some black man approaching the police responding to a burglary scene in the dead of the night. He didn't want the police to mistake him for him being the description, which is another topic along with gun violence. So then after the police left, he then walked into the house. He walked upstairs. He walked down his long hallway leading to his bedroom, and inside the closet, the thief actually found what they wanted, which was jewelry. Among the items taken was a watch that he had received from his wife for his birthday just a few weeks earlier, 2 small cufflinks embezzled with Barack Obama's campaign logo and purchased from his campaign website during the summer of 2008, had also been taken. To this day, those cufflinks remain the one thing aside from my peace of mind that he wishes he could take back. So that kind of stuff kind of corresponds with gun violence in itself. I mean, we see nowadays where home invasions happen, this happens, and we kind of just like, that's when like the gun violence, and then like gun owners report that they own a gun for their own protection, essentially. Something else that I noticed that was really interesting was right here. It says from 1999 to 2014, law enforcement officers across America killed 76 unarmed people of color. On average, one unarmed person of color is killed by police every 2 months in the United States. And although police-involved shootings are rare in the country, just 611 fatalities in 2020, it is no wonder why some parents, me included, would never let our children play with toy guns, let alone get close to a real one. And that comes from like growing up for me personally. Another thing that I noticed in chapter 7 that was really interesting to me was once I find it, hold on. I guess it's right here. Dr. Edwin Leap peered out of the small plexiglass window of the Life Flight helicopter as the aircraft swiftly descended to the scene, his eyes straining to make out the contours of the victim, a man who had tried to take his own life by pointing a .45 caliber pistol to the side of his head and pulling the trigger. The helicopter touched down on a flat portion of the field where bystanders had found the man. Blood, vomit, and brain splatter stained the grass as blue and red lights flashed noiselessly from the fire truck and ambulance assembled at the scene. So, and then it also says down here at the bottom of the chapter, pushing away the hands of the paramedic who was pushing oxygen into the man's lung through the ambo bag, leaped, wiggled his jaw, found it stiff, and requesting medications to paralyze the man. Already having drawn up the medications in anticipation of the need to secure the airway, prior to flight, a flight nurse pushed the clear fluid through an intravenous line. Within seconds, the man ceased breathing. And then that was his opportunity. So, after the flight nurse slipped the tube into Leap's steady hand, he advanced it past the vocal cords into the patient's airway and secured the tube. Moments later, after confirming that both lungs have inflated equally, the pair loaded the man onto the helicopter, which swiftly landed off from the scene to rush to the trauma center. So, the memory of the man lying in the muck after having tried to take his own life remains fresh in his mind. And that's one of the many, many things that comes with being a flight nurse and in flight care. And I think a lot of this information is just so important.